Hey everyone, it's your Zydeco lady Lola Love with Zydeco Online, Zydeco Events, and the Zydeco Historical and Preservation Society. I'm excited to bring you one of my favorite artists who's been touring, and we finally had a chance to catch up with him, Curly Taylor. How are you, Curly?
I'm fine, Lola. How's everything with you today?
Doing well. Everything is well. Tell us
Beautiful.
about yourself, Curly. Where are you from?
From a little town called Grancato, Louisiana. And if you're traveling on I-49, it's between Lafayette and Opelousas, somewhere in between there. That's where I'm located at.
And for those that don't know where Opelousas is in Louisiana, and Opelousas is the Zydeco capital of the world. And speaking of Zydeco, Curly Taylor, how did you get your start in Zydeco music?
Yes, well, I started as a drummer in my dad's band. So that's kind of how it started. My dad played Zydeco and he was heavily influenced by the blues and Clifton, Chenier, and Buckwheat, that type of music that they were doing. So I always tell people, normally you become a product of your environment the majority of the time. So by me being in the house and listening to that type of music, James Brown and all that, Sam Cooke's, that kind of music kind of like stayed in me. So when I was able to form my band, and I never thought I was gonna have a Zydeco band, honestly. I played drums in my dad band because it was fun and interesting at the time, just to be able to make noise on drums. So then Eric Boss Hog, he used to hang out with us. I tell this story all the time. He'd hang out, he'd come to my tower house. He lived like maybe a mile down the road, but he said whenever we'd rehearse, he would hear music, but he never knew where it was coming from. So he said one day, he said he's going to find where this music is coming from. So he said he had to jump a few fields, cross a few barbed wire fences, finally made it to our house. And I was playing the drums and I looked out the window down at the bottom. There's some kid with his sticking his head through our window. And I was like, what you doing there? And like, just keep playing. And after, Eric and up started playing with us and he was able to play with Bojack and a few people and stuff. He done some shows with him, but he used to hang around with us so much and he didn't have a position in the band. And my dad had like a whole bunch of young musicians in his band. So he actually influenced me. Hey man, why don't you start your own band? So it could be a bunch of young guys playing me. Like there's younger guys your age having their own band, so you could do it. Because I never imagined that I would have a band, but he was like, oh, there's young guys that's doing this and you could do it and you could write some songs and whatever. So by me doing that, moving out of that position, playing drums with my dad, that gave him a position. Now he could be a drummer. Now he could hang out with us and be in my band. So that's how my band actually got started and stuff. And once I started my own sound in my own band, it was just all the music that I've heard in the past, all the melodies that I like, just the feel of music and what spoke to me as an artist. That's how I made my music come out to be. And that's who I try to aim my music to, like that is my audience. So that's who I shoot it for.
So that's a great story. So give us that connection between you, Clifton Chenier, Zydeco music.
Yeah. Well, like I said, my daddy, he was really influenced because he knew those guys and he would travel with them. He'd travel with Buckwheat and stuff too. So that was always in there. And, with Cliff being the king of Zydeco, my uncle, Little Buck Senegal, played with him for years with Clifton. And like I said, I remember being young over at my grandmother's house is on St. Charles in Lafayette, 744 St. Charles. That was like the meeting place of all the musicians. So I would be over there all the time when like Chidi would come over or the band would come to pick up Lil Bucks, or I met them, but I was kids, they played in the backyard. I got buckets while they playing in the backyard and stuff, but I was maybe 7, 8 years old at that time when I was in me around that Clifton era. But one time, I think it was the last Zydeco Fest he played. We were playing with my dad, and man, that's my first time ever going to a Zydeco Fest. And we pull in plaisance, and there's a line of cars trying to get into the grounds and stuff. And as we get, well, you could hear Borders going. Clifton Chenier was playing, and he had his nice big band. Might have been the last time he played, but it was so magical. And so I was like, I'm catching chills now just thinking about it. Like, wow, listen how good this sounds. You know, I'm like, this is really rocking, you know? And me getting close to the music, getting louder and stuff, and just to be there and be a part of it. And now it's like by me being over there, it kind of, like I said, it just spoke to my soul. It just in me. So now I do the music, and I just do whatever feels good to my soul, you know. Because I'm not all night. I play my accordion, you know. I put on my accordion and I start singing to people, you know. So whatever feels good to me, that's what I do.
Well, definitely, we had a chance to meet and interview your uncle Lola Senegal, and
Yes.
that was such a special thing for us. You know, he was a legend. He was one of
Oh
the
yeah.
he was the original guitar player for Clifton Chenier,
Yes.
and he was very proud of it.
Yes, and I mean, even with Buckwheat, that's how Buck them all kind of got started. You know, Buck used to play keyboards, organ in Little Buck's band. You know, at one time.
They
You know.
all knew each other. They all played. They were all, amazing. I do want to let you know that we formed a committee, and
Mhm.
this is for the Clifton Chenier Centennial, because in June of 2025, so the year 2025, we will be celebrating the Clifton Chenier Centennial. So celebrating the 100th anniversary of Clifton Chenier's birth. So we want to
Wow.
celebrate big. Yeah,
Please, please, please do so. And I surely want to be a part of that. I don't know what it's going to look like,
yes.
but I do want to be a part of it. You
Oh,
know,
absolutely. We will keep you
because
informed
Lola,
because
like I said, he paved the way for a lot of us. You know, it's like if he wouldn't have done the things that would he've done, I mean, I most probably would have never picked up a accordion because my dad might have would have never found an interest in it or whatever. And then that led to me. And then I mean, from all these other acts, you know, because a lot of the other bands, like Cliff wasn't the only Zydeco band or Lola band. But most of those other bands, they only like played in the area, you know. So they were like local bands. So the world never heard of those people, you know.
that's right.
But luckily, he opened the door and was that strong of influence to where the world thought that it was something that the rest of the world should see, you know.
Absolutely. He got their attention. And no,
Exactly.
and the way he got their attention was with that piano note accordion, which
Okay.
is something that you also play. Tell us
Yes,
about that accordion, that style of music, and how you,
because
yeah,
well, I mean, like I said, that's what my dad played. So, you know, that was always in the house, and I've just connected more into a piano accordion, you know. I do a couple of songs on the single note, but it wasn't that I loved the single note so much that I was doing it because I wasn't brought up on that music. So I was brought up like on Clifton Chenier, Buckwheat, some Sampay, Clayton Sampay, and just the guys that played piano accordion. I've like because it was more bluesy music, you know. It felt like more blues and soul music, so that's why I kind of leaned towards the piano accordion.
now, one of the events that you are going to be touring or you're going to be coming to is San Jose Jazz Summerfest. And you're going to be
Yes.
performing at the Blues and Big Easy stage. That's on Saturday, August 13th. I'm so looking forward to being there at San Jose Jazz Festival and seeing you perform.
I'm looking forward to it because I've heard of the festival for years, and now I'm finally starting. I'm finally going to perform to the festival, and I think by me constantly getting out and presenting myself and the band to the world, that's how it's gonna grow, and that's what's been happening. You know.
Yeah, you are no stranger to the Bay Area. You've been here before. You know, you have
Yeah.
quite a bit of following. So I have
Yeah.
to say, you have a following, and we
Put in the
definitely
work,
enjoy your music.
and I put in the work over the years. You know.
Your fan base is growing. They're actually recognizing your music, your talent. And so we appreciate you doing that because
Thank you.
you're taking tours, you're coming out to see us. And so, yeah, I want to mention this again. You're going to be performing at the San Jose Jazz Summerfest, and you are going to be performing there at the Blues and Big Easy stage on Saturday, August 13th. We're so looking forward to seeing you there.
I'm looking forward to having everybody out while we're in town. You know.
Now, tell us, where can people find out more information about you, Curley Taylor?
Yes. I want everybody to come on and see us. Go to curlytaylor.com to keep up with all the shows. Appreciate it, the support.
Awesome. All right, Curley Taylor, thank you so much for this time, and we appreciate you, your music, and we hope to see you very, very soon. Is there anything else that you'd like to say?
And I just want to thank all my fan supporters for just backing me up and support me. And I thank y'all too, Lola. Appreciate everything that y'all do for the Zydeco community. You know,
Our pleasure.
because like I said, you can be great, but if you don't have nobody pushing you, you may be unknown. You know.
Well, we definitely do it. It is a pleasure, and it's all part of the Zydeco Historical and Preservation Society. Learn more about our organization at zhps.org, and also learn about the Clifton Chenier Centennial that's taking place on June 25th, 2025. Thanks again for tuning in, everyone. We'll see you again soon.